Welcome back for Chapter 9 of Internment by Samira Ahmed. And if you are enjoying this book, she just released a new book called Mad, Bad, and Dangerous to Know. I just got it in the mail today. I pre-ordered it. I'm really excited to check it out. And don't forget to follow her on Instagram. Here we go. Chapter 9. When I was walking out to the mess the other night, I overheard two girls, probably from 7th or 8th grade, from Block 3, another Desi block. One of them was talking about making a small curtain for the tiny window in her bedroom out of extra pillowcase she decorated with markers. She seemed really happy to have something pretty to look at, so her room felt more homey, she said. My gut twisted when she said those words, that she was happy with something so small, so simple. People need to do what they can to manage the day-to-day of this place, but making Mobius feel like home is the last thing I want. To me, it would feel like giving up. Still, I followed the girls back to their block after dinner and gave them the washi tape I brought along for some reason, but hadn't bothered unpacking. Sometimes it's the small things that give us hope and make life bearable. I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor of my little nondescript white-walled prison room. Aisha's on my bottom bunk. This room, this unit, it's claustrophobic. But Aisha shares hers with her brother, so the small space of my room gives her a sibling-free refuge. Privacy. A tiny bubble where the cameras and guards and drones aren't looking at us. I sigh. We have no idea how long we're going to be in here, do we? We elected this guy who sees all of us as a threat. He doesn't have to let us out. We're like netted fish, struggling to find water, but we don't realize we're drowning on dry land. We have to get out. Aisha whispers, "What do you mean? How do you propose to get out?" I don't know, but we have to figure something. There have to be others who feel the same way. I know there are. There's not just fear in the camp. There's anger, too. Anger can't turn off the electricity to the fence, and unless you're planning on getting out in a body bag. Aisha brings her hand to her mouth, stopping the words. But I was thinking them anyway. No, I plan on getting out alive. Think about it. There's never been a wall that people haven't been able to get by. You mean like the border wall? Yeah, and the Berlin Wall. Did you learn about that in history? Some people made it over in a hot air balloon or by digging a tunnel under the wall. We don't have shovels, and we don't have a hot air balloon, Aisha says. I shrug and let out a little groan. Look, she continues, I'm not saying that I'm not with you. I'm saying be realistic, be smart. You're talking about the possibility of getting killed. My parents aren't going to go along with some escape plan. Would yours? Aisha's pitch rises as she speaks. I shake my head. They're too scared, but others aren't. Sahil, us, I know we can't do something stupid, but I don't want to be buried and forgotten here. I stand up and start pacing the tiny room, twisting the ends of my hair around my finger. I take a deep breath and puff out my cheeks, exhaling. When I turn to walk back in the other direction, I see Aisha chewing on her bottom lip. She's worried. You're right, I say. I didn't mean to sound flippant. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me. It's the dust, it's the isolation, it's the fence. It's David. I want to talk to David, to hear his voice, or maybe... David, Aisha interrupts, and I realize I've been trying so hard not to think about him that I haven't told Aisha about him either. Saying his name out loud is a reminder of everything I've lost. My boyfriend. I guess he's still my boyfriend. I touch my infinity necklace. I don't know when I'll see him again. And who's he going to take to prom? Aisha's mouth drops open and she tries to hold in a laugh. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. I love how prom is on the list right after freedom and breathing. Oh my God, it's totally ridiculous, right? There are these moments where I still think this place isn't real, like it's a horrible dream, and for that minute, my mind feels free to think about, prom. I get it. We have to have those moments of remembering that we're human and thinking of regular stuff, or else the weight of this place would crush us. Have you seen Footloose? The movie? I ask. Yeah, it's like one of my mom's favorites from middle school. She made me watch it for mother-daughter bonding or something. Original only, not the remake. The entire premise is sort of ridiculous, like these kids stage a revolt because they're not allowed to dance in their town. Some preacher says it's against the Bible or something. Like Sharia law for Christians. I roll my eyes, since every Muslim understands the hypocrisy of right-wing xenophobes. They're all terrified of a word they don't understand, scared that religious law is going to infiltrate the land. But meanwhile, they support the death penalty, are anti-choice, and think creationism should be taught in schools because of, wait for it, religion. Aisha smirks at me. Something like that. Anyway, they staged this dance outside the town limits to get around the law. I grin at Aisha, letting my mind float back to David, imagining prom with him, thinking of the last real smile we shared, and then our final, terrible, helpless moments together when he was yelling at me to run. David, I say out loud. Aisha looks at me. David, he's on the outside. Maybe he could help us somehow. I mean, his dad used to work at the State Department, though it's not like his dad has lifted a finger to help us so far. I doubt he's suddenly grown a conscience. I don't know, I might be grasping at straws, but it's all I've got right now. Can we even have visitors? You could try to put in a phone request to talk to David, but the director's people totally listen in. She pauses. Do your parents know you have a boyfriend? I nod, and Aisha rises, knocking her head on the edge of the bunk as she stands up. Damn it! Are you okay? I keep doing that too. Everything in this place is against us, even the stupid too-low bunk. Aisha rubs her head. I'm okay, but go on. I'm fascinated by this whole parental knowledge of boyfriend situation. I grin. I don't give them all the details, but yeah, they know. David comes over for dinner. He sometimes comes to the mosque with us. Last Ramadan, he even fasted a few days. Whoa. Is he going to convert? What? No. We've never even discussed it. His family is Jewish, and that's really important to him. I mean, half his dad's family was killed in the Holocaust, and his mom's family are Yemenite Jews who were refugees. Some of them just disappeared from camps. I pause, suck in my breath, listening to my words echo in my brain. History suddenly seems terrifyingly present. They've gone through so much to hold on to their family and their faith. David feels that very deeply, a kind of gratitude that his family survived, an obligation to never forget and also speak the truth. Aisha looks at me with wide eyes. So wait, David is brown and Jewish? I nod. Honestly, when we first met in grade school, I thought he was a Desi. I think I just wanted to not be the only one, you know? A Desi Muslim girl from an immigrant family and a brown Jewish son of a refugee? You're like the dream team for Model UN. I grin. David knows his dad has white privilege, but he's seen his mom get hit with anti-Semitism and racism, so he kind of gets it, you know? We try to be open to learning about each other's faiths, ask questions, talk things out. Aisha nods. That is so great. And oh my God, for Shabbat dinners, the Shabbat dinners his mom makes are an amazing Yemeni stew and this flaky fried bread that I love more than my mom's paratha sauce. Don't tell her I said that. Don't tell her I said that. Aisha laughs. That would earn you a one-way ticket to a boarding school in India. I give her a tiny smile and then clear my throat, pretending I don't feel a lump welling in it. Anyway, can you imagine anyone wanting to convert now, publicly? It would be too dangerous. A woman converted at our mosque a couple months ago. She knew the risks, and honestly, her Arabic pronunciations put mine to shame. What? Seriously? Is she in here too? Nah, I don't think so. It was after the census. Also, she's white, and I don't see any white converts in here. White-looking Arabs? Yes. White Americans? No. Maybe they'll be brought in here soon, too. But you've looked around, you know. There's like a hierarchy for bigots, isn't there? Like their hatreds of Muslims isn't equal. They dispense it in degrees. They hate some of us more. Like the darker your skin or the more foreign-sounding your name, if you're black and wear a hijab, you're getting the brunt of it. Honestly, I think some racists think Islam is a race or ethnicity and not a religion. Like we're all brown and from Muslimistan. A knock interrupts us. My mom's muffled voice comes through the door. Honey, we need to get Aisha home. We don't want her parents to worry. Just a sec, we'll be right out. Aisha grins. Your parents knock and don't immediately barge in? They're a dream. Maybe we can get them to talk to my parents. I take my parents for granted sometimes. I know plenty of kids, Muslim and not, who envy the trust my parents have in me. I've never really had to hide who I am in front of them. I know a couple of girls at the mosque who want to date openly and not sneak around, and others who are willing to be arranged. And there's a girl who is both hijabi and the homecoming queen. The thing is, my parents always told me never to judge another Muslim's religiosity. Each of us practices in our own way, and God alone judges. Let there be no compulsion in religion. Can't count the number of times my parents have quoted that passage to me. Aisha and I exchange sad, knowing looks that don't need words. I open my door. My parents and I walk her the few steps back to her trailer. Aisha's mother sits on the steps to their Mercury home in anticipation. Who can blame her? The fever pitch of anxiety and fear is the everyday current mood at this place. We're all hyper alert, a constant rush of adrenaline coursing through our bodies. I wonder what the crash will be like when it comes. While my parents exchange salams with Aisha's mom, I give my friend a quick hug and whisper, I'm going to see if I can get to David. Maybe there's some way he can help us. I'm really not sure if David could do anything for us, even if I am able to reach him somehow, but I want to leave her with a little hope as we say goodbye and gaze on the melancholy drawn faces of our parents. I swear all the parents in here only have two looks anymore. Terrified, worry, and a mask with a fake smile trying to hide their terror so their kids don't notice. When we leave Aisha's trailer, there's still a half hour before curfew, so I convince my parents to take a short walk with me. Every time I'm outside now, I'm always watching, looking for a way out, paying attention to the guards who seem a little bored. In the dark, the searchlights and watchtowers are a menacing reminder that we're locked away. And I know the drones hover somewhere above our heads. I can feel the hum in my bones. The three of us quietly find our way back to the Mercury home. Corporal Reynolds is stationed at the top of our block. He catches my eye, but then quickly turns away. And that's the end of Chapter 9.